Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Ned Reynolds, Mike the intern, back in the studio on a Wednesday morning. It's crazy to think we just crowned an NBA champion, and now the draft's literally happening the same week, but that's the way they do things.
It is indeed. And the NBA is using the same format, so to speak, as the NFL and Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball's draft is right during the All-Star break,
it's in the middle
it's just
of the
coming
season.
up here before too much longer in a couple of weeks. NBA likes to do their things as immediately as they can because the training camps will be getting underway in the latter part of September, mid and late September. Anyway, the first of the two rounds of the NBA draft are tonight. And the first one, well, they both are accomplished at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, home of the Brooklyn Nets. So there will be 30 players selected tonight and 30 more tomorrow. That's how it works. And the whole thing could be done in about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. But, oh no, it's dragged out for TV. And again, they're practitioners of what the NFL does, and that is a successful venture with the NFL draft. However, these aren't the same entities, and the viewing audience won't be anywhere near the same. But it is what it is, so the NBA players get selected tonight. Dallas Mavericks have the first choice, and unless they trade that choice, which I don't think they will take Cooper Flagg, the All-America from Duke University, and a really good player. At 7'1", he is just as agile as you could possibly be. He would be a big fit with the Dallas Mavericks. So we'll see what happens, but that all begins tonight.
Yeah, I don't want to get started about the lottery situation. I've already made my opinion known. The NCAA might actually permit college athletes to bet on games. Are we kidding? Is this real life?
I wish it wasn't. But in this case, they are allowed, according to the NCAA, and the committees have approved this, to place bets on pro sports, not on college. If you're caught betting on college games, regardless of what it is, that's a penalty. But pro sports, they're apparently going to be allowed to, but my argument to that is, hey, one, when does the other come into effect too? So I don't like it. I wish there was a ban on it totally, which there has been. But apparently the NCAA sees another court case coming up, and they can't afford that anymore. They've been buried under lawsuits. So they're saying, yeah, we'll allow them to allow the athletes, this is college athletes, to place a bet on pro sports.
Wild times we're living in, my friend. The Missouri Amateur Golf Tournament is underway, and where we at and what happened yesterday?
Well, what they do in the first two rounds, Tuesday and today, is medal qualifying. This is medal play, in other words, stroke play. The top 64 players, and I guess they include ties in this as well. I'm not sure how that works. But the 2 rounds of qualifying play, and then tomorrow begins the match play eliminations, and it all concludes with a 36-hole one-on-one match play against the 2 contenders for the championship, and that takes place Sunday. They're playing up in Columbia, Missouri. That's where it's all taking place. And the leader, the medalist after the first round of play yesterday, was a kid from Mount Vernon. His name is Preston Richardson. He had a score of 66. Now, what's he going to shoot today? Well, that remains to be seen, but it would be implausible that he does not make the match play round. Top 64 players from the qualifying make it, and it all is taking place up in Columbia.
Other than last Sunday, since June 17th, the Cardinals have scored more than 5 runs in every single game they played. And then, some as much as 8 runs. They've been hitting the hell out of the ball.
Magic carpet ride is what they're on right now. Everything looks like a grapefruit coming up there, and they're bashing it. Cardinals win last night again, coming from behind, 8-7, beating the Chicago Cubs, who are a hard-hitting baseball team. But here the Cardinals are matching them blow for blow. The Cubs had a 5-2 lead in this ball game, but Mason Wynn, who is really developing into one of Major League's very, very best shortstops, and certainly one of the best players on the Cardinals, had a 2-run homer to get them back in the game. Nolan Gorman had a solo homer to tie it, and then Mason Wynn's 2-run double boosted the Cardinals into the lead, and they held on to win it by a score of 8-7. So the Cardinals are now only 2.5 games back of the Cubs in the National League East. Play again tonight, and then tomorrow afternoon. Good heavens, what is going on? The Cardinals have unloaded the full arsenal of their weapons, and they're playing well at the moment.
Royals, I wish I could say the same thing about them. They are not having a hell of a time.
And it's a good team. I do not understand why they haven't come together and played consistently good baseball. And the team that beat them last night, Mike, they just continue to astound the daylights out of me. This is the Tampa Bay Rays. Now, they have everything in the world going against them. They're not playing in their own home ballpark because it was damaged severely by the hurricane last September. So they're playing in the New York Yankees spring training home, George Steinbrenner Field in Tampa. All right, seats 10, 11,000, which is fine, and it has major league proportions, but it's still not their home ballpark. And then I defy anybody to take a look at that Tampa Bay Rays lineup and tell me who these guys are. I've never heard of any of them. Last night, for instance, Danny Jansen, he's the catcher. 3 RBIs, 2-run homers, sacrifice fly, the winning pitcher in the ballgame, Taj Bradley. Come on, people. And yet this team is challenging the New York Yankees for first place in the National League East. The Tampa Bay Rays have been there before. They are virtually in contention every single year, and yet they're doing it on a shoestring. It's absolutely amazing. It was Tampa Bay 5, the Kansas City Royals 1 last night. Oh, boy, I tell you, that Tampa Bay whole franchise is really playing well. Then the Springfield Cardinals opened up the second half of the season last night out in Wichita and got blanked. Wichita wind surge 3, the Springfield Cardinals nothing. That was first game of the second half, but hey, don't look now. The Cardinals still have the best record in the Texas League.
And they're still going to the playoffs no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
Back to the Royals, I agree with everything you said. I think it just comes down to consistency, and it doesn't matter what the name is on that stadium or on your hat. If you're not playing together, you ain't going to get any wins. And right now, they're not playing together, at least offensively. That's for sure. All right, we talked about the golf tournament happening in Columbia this week. What about the one on the national scale?
The pro golf tournament is the Rocket Classic, and it is in Detroit at the Detroit Country Club. This is not one of the biggies. The purse is just a little under $10 million. Sounds like a lot, but for the individuals, the big names, they're used to the $20 million purse where they're going to get over $3 and sometimes $4 million for winning it. So many of the big names are not included in this one this week, the Rocket Classic. The big names are getting ready for the British Open, which is coming up in just a couple of weeks at Royal Portrush in Northern Ireland, and that's the last of the year's Grand Slam events. But as far as the PGA Tour is concerned, it is the Rocket Classic this week.
Ned, you have a wonderful Wednesday, and I will see you tomorrow.